Hello, everyone, and welcome back inside the booth, this time with another Georgia Tech commit. Kind of a theme going along here as Georgia Tech racking up commits in the 2025 class. My name is Bryce Koon, joined alongside Jimmy Bryson. Jimmy, we appreciate it, man. I didn't say this to you before. I love how you're fully invested into the summer wear with the little
Oh yeah.
floral shirt. Yeah, you're ready. I guarantee you get a nice day planned after this, man, but we appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, man, let's kind of just take a step back. We were talking, before this. It's been a while. You're not one of the recent commits. I think Sunday there were like 5 or 6 guys that said, "Hey, I want to join this class." You were kind of one of the first dominoes to drop for Brent Key in this 2025 class. Talk to me as you're making your way down I-75. Obviously, you're up there in Chattanooga getting ready for the OV. What was your mindset heading into that OV a couple weeks ago? And just from talking with people, it sounds like they rolled out the red carpet and they showed you what you wanted to see.
Yes, sir. No, absolutely. So, on my way home, I was thinking, I was gonna go to the Indiana the next day. I was like,
Hmm.
man, I don't want to go anymore. I stepped on campus and I kind of knew it. I looked over this like the city and I was like, man, like this can be my home. And what really sealed it is like all the coaches, the stability in the coaches. Brent Key was a big factor in that too. And so I talked to my family. Like I only needed 30 minutes, and I called Coach Wade and Coach McKee back, and I was like, "Hey, Coach, I'm committed." And best choice, yes sir.
That's awesome. Talk to us about Coach Wade. We've seen some press conferences, we've had conversations with him, but what was your kind of interactions with him? We know that he's a guy that very businesslike, but also kind of likes to have fun too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've known Coach Wade, my bad, since I think my sophomore year,
Mm.
and so I've kind of had a little relationship with him, and he, like you said, very businesslike, and that's what I love. And at the same time, he goofs around. That's what I absolutely love. He's very focused in on me and improving my max potential, and I think that's what I value the most out of a coach. He's always caring about how he can develop me the most a coach can, and I think that's more than what a lot of people can offer.
I got you. And then obviously, man, your new head coach is a former offensive lineman and a former offensive line coach. I mean, what were those
Uh,
conversations like in his office, and just your impressions of Coach Key? We know he has a lot of passion for Georgia Tech. What did you take away?
yes, sir. Oh no, the passion is definitely there. That's what I realized first of all. I've talked to numerous head coaches, and it's just like they don't care. No, Coach Key cares about about the program, about the players. He cared about me, sitting in there and being a former lineman, and he looks out for me a little bit. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna look out for the O lineman. That's what I love the most. And just like Coach Jeep, like he's gonna make sure I get to like maximize my potential at Georgia Tech. And I think that's what I was honestly looking at the most. Like which college can do that for me the most, and by far Georgia Tech and Coach Key.
You And you talk about that, man. I mean, it's not just off on the field. I mean, it's off the field too. The education that you're going to get there as well. How much of a selling point was that when they're recruiting? Hey, we want to develop you on the field, but man, this is one of the best educations that you can get in the country.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That was one of the biggest factors. So I want to go into pre med, and so Georgia Tech's obviously a great school, like all around, but and for pre med, all of that. And so we were at dinner, and Coach Key pulls out his phone and calls one of the best orthopedic surgeons like in the nation. I was like, man, like that's how I knew that place can get me right. I was like, that was honestly one of the best selling factors they had. Like, it absolutely crazy, blew my mind.
I know fans will love that. It's a pretty big flex there by Coach Key to pull out his phone and call that right there. Talk to me
Right.
about your family's reaction. I mean, I know obviously they got to, kind of go through this with you when you let them know, hey, this is where I want to be.
Yeah.
How did they like the visit, and how did this staff recruit not just you, but your family as a whole?
Man, my family loved it more than I did, honestly. Like my mom, I remember the whole time she was like, "Yep, I want you here," and she never even visited anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like, but my dad, he was. I don't want to say hard to sell. He's just a hard to sell person. Like no
Yeah.
other college has sold him like Georgia Tech has. Like I remember, we got back in the car and we talked things over and everything, and um, I was asking him how he would feel if I just committed on the spot, cancel all my other visits, all that. He's like, "I'm good with it," and I was shocked when he said that because he's not a man that just you know get get winded over by that like that. So I was like, "Yeah, this might be home," just basically off that, and so they loved it. I mean, they kind of in the same boat I am. They understand what it can do for me on and off the field, and so yeah, I mean, we were all in agreement about it.
Obviously, man, you got to be hosted by, a couple of guys. Talk about who hosted you on this OV and just what were kind of the vibes and you were able to get from the guys that are currently there and just the camaraderie that this team seems to have some really, really good chemistry.
So I know the chemistry's there. That's what I noticed first of all. Like, so I was hosted by Harrison Moore and then Jameson Riggs.
Mm.
Harrison was the first night, and the first night it was more of a I want to say low key night, but it was fun. Like we didn't go out. We kind of just chilled in the dorm with a bunch of their players, and man, we played like Dance Party 2015, like all of that. I mean, it was just cool like vibe. I think I would have, I'd rather see that than going out because I got to see how they interact with one another, like how much of a family it really is, and I like that, and like me just fitting in with them. It was crazy. Like I knew that's a place I could be in, like be around and be comfortable in, and that's a big part for me too.
Coach Keys talked a lot about, as Georgia Tech continues to try to climb to the top of the ACC and really kind of get back to where they used to be. He's talked about building from within, and you're a part of that, the piece to the puzzle. These guys that want to build both on the defense and the offensive lines, as you see programs build across, the country, the emphasis that Key puts on this, I mean, it has to have you excited because, look, let's be honest, when it comes to star rankings, when it comes to things, linemen don't get a whole bunch of love, a lot of the time. So how does it feel to be going to a place that says, hey, we want to be nasty up front. We want to be physical. And, Brent Key just had the I think, interview with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution saying, hey, we want people to not want to play us after we play them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That fires me up. I love that type of football. I love nasty, tough, hard-nosed football, you know what I mean? And I think Coach Key and Wade, they completely bring that along with them. And that's what I value a lot of them. Just knowing that, people will be scared to play us. And that's what I love. Like, I love having that mentality going into it and then everything. And building within, like, absolutely. You can definitely see it. They were talking about transfers and all of that. Like, they don't take too many for, like, only when they, like, really need to, you know what I mean? Yeah, I completely understand that. Like they do want to build high school kids and develop them, and that's also what I valued a lot coming out.
And obviously, man, that's kind of rare nowadays with the transfer portal and how many guys can enter their names in and everything. Wanted to kind of get your feel on this because this 2025 class, man, it's already kind of, it's risen to a top 25 class for 24/7 sports. Rivals, you start to kind of look at all the different recruiting services. It's impressive. And you guys have been able to kind of, really kind of capture some maybe underrated talent that could have gone elsewhere. But when you look at this, is there already a bond forming? Like, is there a group chat with the 2025 guys? And are you guys taking a guy like yourself? I know Grady Adamson said he's taking a role as the quarterback of this class. You guys taking a role saying, hey, we want to recruit you as a part of our class?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I've talked to Grady. Grady's a cool dude. I love it. Like it's kind of like that. Like we all we're building something for sure. Like not just like trying to add more people, but the people we already have committed, we're building something there too. Trying to build a relationship because I feel like that's going to last the most. Like people are going to transfer and leave, but as long as we have our 25 class, like the people that are still here, like as long as we have our relationships and all of that, like we'll be fine. You know what I mean? Just building some foundation before we get in there and build even more.
I like it. I like it. Our last one for you, man. We appreciate your time. Just kind of an easy soft toss one here. What can fans expect here out of Jimmy Bryson? What are they getting in a player as a man, and how excited are you to be able to kind of play under the lights? I will tell you, you talked about the skyline. Bobby Dodd at night, it's pretty special.
Absolutely. No, I think fans are getting out of me a tough-nosed football. Absolutely. That's what I think. A mentality that I think can instill even more in Georgia Tech. Mean, don't care to punch you straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're going to get after it in football. And I think that's going to definitely, like, my teammates going to see that. And I think that's going to be developed and a new foundation. You know what I mean? It's a hard-nosed football that people can get, like you said, people are going to fear us next week. And
I like it.
That's what I'm excited the most about.
I like it. Have you been to a game yet?
No, sir. I've not.
Okay, man. Well, I'm sure you'll get down to maybe at least one or maybe a couple this fall, man. But we do appreciate the opportunity. Best of luck to you in your senior season. Enjoy that part. You never get that again. I know you're excited to kind of go up there and finish out strong. And then, man, we're excited to watch your career on the flats as well. But we appreciate your time, Jimmy, and best of luck to you going forward.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.